In this video, we'll show you how to replace your hood release handle and cable on this 2003 to 2011 Mercury Grand Marquis. The cable itself will be partially located in the front of the vehicle in the engine compartment, making its way all the way to the passenger compartment. Now let's get started. To start removing our cable, we're going to remove this plastic panel along the front of our vehicle. To remove this, you'll find that you have 3 of these plastic push clips. You can twist these counterclockwise and remove them once they're unlocked. There should be one in the center. Ours is missing. I'll remove this one on the far end. Lift this up and out of here. With that out of the way, you have a nice clear view of where the cable connects onto your hood latch. We're going to remove the hood latch from the body of the vehicle so we can gain access to the cable along the bottom back side. To do this, we'll remove our 2 8mm headed bolts holding it in place. Inspect your hardware as you remove it, replace it as necessary. Now we can turn this over. At this point, you can see where the cable connects into this. On the inside right here, there's 2 tabs that you can squeeze in with some pliers, and then you should be able to pull this out of here. Once you've done that, we'll move along to this area. We'll use some long nose pliers to squeeze on those 2 ears. With those squeezed in, we can pull this out. Once that's released, we can bring it out from the far end. You want to give your hood latch a quick inspection. If it looks like it's rusted in any way, go ahead and clean it up and re-lubricate it. Ours looks fine. I'll set it aside. Now we can grab that hood cable and start following it towards the fender. You'll find that you have an area with a clip that goes into the fender itself. Go ahead and pop that out using a trim tool or small prying device. The next thing that you'll want to do is take some string, tie it onto the very end of the cable. Make sure that you give yourself plenty of slack. And then after that, make your way over to the firewall in the engine compartment. Now I'll use a pry bar so I can reach all the way down into this area, and I'm going to gently start pressing this rubber grommet into the passenger compartment through the firewall. Once we've done this, we can make our way into the passenger compartment to continue. There we are. With that broken free, make your way into the passenger compartment. We can see our handle. You've got this trim piece, and then you also have this trim piece holding the other in place. Continue on with the trim tool and gently pop this up and out of here. You will be reusing it, so try not to break it. There we are. Now we can start removing this. We'll remove the black panel first. Where my index finger is, you can tell that there's a notch. Use a small pocket screwdriver or pick. Carefully get in between this area to remove it. Quick inspection on that. Set it aside. Now we can start removing this panel by first removing this weather barrier. We'll set that aside. Grab onto the plastic panel and pull it rearward. That should break it free. Let's go ahead and spin that around. You can see you have 2 push clips, and then you have this hooked area at the far end. With that out of the way, you can tell we have a clear access to our hood release handle. For the handle, you'll find that you have 2 10mm pieces of mounting hardware. We have a bolt up here, and then a mounting nut further towards the front of the vehicle. Remove the pair. Make our way up here. Now we can reach in here. We'll give this a little wiggle to break it free. Just gonna get it off of there. Now we'll carefully pull this away from our wiring. And at this point, you can start pulling this out from inside the engine compartment. As you do, make sure that the string is still attached. Remove your string. And there it is, friends. Once you've compared your original cable to the brand new cable and you're sure the length is the same, we'll continue on with our installation. For the installation, you're going to want to take the far end of the cable, the area that goes to the latch itself in the engine compartment. Tie your string onto the very end there, and then we'll carefully start feeding this through the firewall. Once this far end is through the firewall, we'll make our way out to the engine compartment and continue tugging it with the string all the way through as far as we can. Start feeding this through. This should stop at that rubber grommet. There we go. From inside the passenger compartment, let's push this grommet into place, making sure that it's sealed well enough that no moisture or debris can make its way into the passenger compartment. Now that I have that rubber grommet fully seated, we can continue on with the rest of the handle. You want to make sure that you have the wiring along the outside of the handle. You don't want to get it pinched anywhere. We'll just slide this into place. Now we can align our mounting hardware. Let's get this lined up with the stud. Slide it into place. You can start on that mounting nut. Before you tighten this one, make sure you also start in your forward bolt. Once again, we're being extremely careful not to pinch any of our wiring. Let's snug them up. Make sure it's completely secure. Now we can make our way to the engine compartment. You'll find that your new hood cable did not come with the clip that holds it to the fender. Continue on by removing the clip from your original hood cable. This is fairly simple. Grab onto it, spread it out a little bit, and slide it right off of there. Once you do, transfer it over to the new cable. Give that a quick inspection. Let's slide this right on here. Sometimes you just have to pry to separate this with a screwdriver of some sort. We'll put this in place. There we are. Now we can start bringing the cable to its original position. Now we can start attaching this to our latch. When you do this, you want to make sure you put the end of the cable in and through that area right there. Now we can give this a little tug and align our plastic piece with the bracket part of the latch assembly, and then slide this into place. Once it's in place, go ahead and give it a little tug to make sure it's secured. After that, put this in position. Start in both of your mounting bolts and align them with the same areas as when you had removed them originally. Typically, if you were to look at this, you're going to find an area that you can see the washer for each of the bolts. Once we put this in place, we'll align it and then snug it up into its original position. All right, now we can continue on to putting on our plastic panel here. Slide this into place. Let's get this down in here. Continue on with your 2 push clips. With them in the unlock position, slide this down into position here. Press that in to lock it. Continue on towards the center. If you had one here, install that. And then down at the far end. All right, let's go ahead and test this now. We'll shut the hood and make sure that it pops open. Perfect. Now let's make our way back into the passenger compartment. We're going to put on our side kick panel. You'll find on the body of the vehicle, you have this clipped area right here for the hooked area of the panel itself to slide into. Before we put this in position, we also want to mention that you have 2 little push clips that also fit into the body of the vehicle. Once you have everything lined up, slide it into the locked position. I'll line up my 2 clips. Press each of those in. Make sure that this is secure. We'll continue on to the rubber seal. Press that into position. Now we can put this on as well. Slide that right in there. Listen for a click. Let's get this installed as well. Looking along the bottom of this, you're going to find that you have several tabs that push down and in, and 2 alignment tabs. Line all of it up with the corresponding holes and press it down into position. Okay, we've got everything back together. Close the hood. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.